what's up, guys? So I thought that I'd do something a little bit different, and I've seen these types of videos on other types of channels before, and I figured, hey, what the heck, why not make one for my channel? And what it is a getting to know you better kind of video. And I figured I'd do one video that kind of gives new subscribers or new viewers a little bit of insight as to who I am, what I'm about, and yeah, something pretty simple. And I figured what I do is 5 questions I would ask myself or ask someone else to get to know them a little bit better. And so yeah, anyway, and I figured what I would do also is I'm going to tag 2 other people in this, and ask them to make a response video and tag 2 people in their own, and maybe we can get kind of a ball bouncing in the community and see how far it goes. Anyway, so question number 1. Who are you? What's your name? I go by the name Scrag on most social media and like video games, things like that. It's just been a name that I've called myself, or people have called me for a long time, many moons. But my everyday, what people know me as, is James or Jimmy. I get called Jimmy by some of my older, closer friends, and James by most everybody else. My legal name is James. How old are you? I am 34 years old. And, oh man, there's a bad accident right here. Oh, that stinks. Oof. That really stinks. So, 34 years old. I was born in 1982. I remember when 1982 seemed like it wasn't that long ago, but now it's getting longer and longer ago. Especially when I go and I fill out like online, whatever, where you put in your name, your date, all that stuff, and you gotta like scroll a couple of times to get to the year you were born. And that always makes me kind of laugh, because that's kind of a telltale sign of how old you are, is how many times you gotta flick your finger to get to the year you were born. Anyway, so it's getting a couple of flicks now to get down to 1982. Where am I from? Well, currently, I live in a little town called Spanish Fork, Utah. It's a little farther south of Provo, if people know where Provo, Utah is. Provo's pretty popular and famous for a football team called BYU. And just about everybody has heard of the Great Salt Lake. So when you talk about Utah, there's a couple of things that people know about Utah. They either know about the Great Salt Lake, or they know about Salt Lake City. They know about the Salt Flats, which are these famous kind of barren wasteland. It's the remnants of an old ocean floor. And Moab, Utah. Just about everybody knows about Moab. They're into outdoor adventure of any kind, because Moab's pretty famous for the rock crawling and outdoor adventure-y stuff that you can do on mountain biking, rock climbing. There's all kinds of cool canyons and stuff down there. Anyway, so currently living in Utah, but I'm originally from Northern California, the Sacramento area to be exact. Grew up in Sacramento, or an outskirt area of Sacramento called Rosemont, and went to school there. High school, went to Hiram W. Johnson, and then after I got out of school there, I got married, and I started working for a company in California, and that company ended up transferring out to Utah, and that's where I'm at now. The type of work, so what do you do? That's a question that I'm sure some people will ask. I would ask someone. Man, what am I up to? I was thinking 5 questions. So I've got my name, how old I am, where I'm from, and now what do I do? So, my day job, when I'm not making YouTube videos, not that it's a job, but yeah. My day job is I am a quality assurance person, that's the easiest way to put it, for a dietary supplement manufacturer. And we make herbal supplements here in Utah and send them out all over the United States and a couple of places around the world. And my main job that I do for the company is I make sure that the company is following FDA guidelines for how the business should run and the operations that it has to perform in order to perform safely and sell in the marketplace in the United States. And I make sure that my company is protected from our suppliers, the people who send us ingredients that we use to make formulas. And I make sure that all the stuff they send us meets a standard that we've specified, and that it's safe and clean and pure and effective for use. And yeah, so I kind of act as a firewall. That's the way I usually describe it to people when I'm explaining what I do. I act as a firewall. I protect both the company and I protect the consumer. Protect the consumer from a company making a bad product potentially and sending it out into the marketplace. And my job is to make sure that my company doesn't do that and doesn't hurt anybody knowingly outside of the facility, because you never know, you might have a company that manufactures a product and they don't care what's in it and they send it out. Well, my job is to make sure that my company cares about what it manufactures and that it cares about the products and how we sourced all the ingredients and where we got it from, and that everything was what it was supposed to be. So, in a nutshell, I'm a firewall. So that was 4. 5. Question number 5 that I would ask somebody or want to know about is, why do you make YouTube videos? For me, I make YouTube videos mainly because I like to talk. I like to spread what limited knowledge I might have about something and give it to other people, and hopefully it helps their lives. My main purpose for starting my YouTube channel years and years ago was I was super into guns and board games, specifically a board game called Warhammer, and I would put videos up. And I left those videos on my channel in case you ever want to go check them out. They're from a few years ago. And the main reason I left those videos on my channel was so that there was a point of reference for people to look at and see what I did or who I was, and that I wasn't always, as skinny or lean or in shape as I am now, so that people, couldn't come back and say, oh, well, you were never a big guy, or you were never fat, you were never overweight, that kind of thing. So there's video proof of my being overweight, being a guy of 300 plus pounds. At one time, I don't know if it was my heaviest, but I was 321 pounds when I actually started paying attention to my weight and started losing weight. So I may have weighed more than 321 pounds, but not much more at one time. And currently today, as of October 24th, 2016, I weigh 165 pounds. So I've almost lost half of my body weight, which was I won't say my primary goal. My first goal when I started losing weight was to lose enough weight to get down to 200 pounds, because I thought 200 pounds would be comfortable. And then as I got closer to 200, I thought, man, 200 is not that far away. I'm going to shoot for 180, because that's what the doctor said was ideal. And then as I got closer to 180, I thought, I'm not too far away from just having this milestone of saying I lost half the man. I'm half the man I used to be, as the song goes. And that became my new goal. And so I'm 5 pounds away from reaching that goal. And once I hit that goal, my plan is to start working out more to build muscle. And once the muscle is put on, I hope to be right about 180 pounds with 20 pounds of lean muscle added. the reason for making the videos. I kind of got off the subject and spiraled into my typical weight loss rant. The reason is I started making new videos because I had videos, several of them for years ago, just random things, working on cars, how to play a board game, gun stuff. And my main focus now is I want to show the community, anybody who's interested in losing weight, how simple and easy it can be. Because I'm not a magician. I'm not some, diet guru that, did some kind of crazy diet and was successful. My advice, one, I want it to be simple, and I want it to be free. YouTube doesn't cost you anything. Obviously you gotta have internet and things like that, but that's not an additional cost, right? This is a simple, free advice that I give to anybody who is willing to try it. And when I started losing weight, it was kind of an accident, and I've got a video out there that talks about it, but I'll break it down pretty simple. I didn't plan to start losing massive amounts of weight. It just kind of started happening because I started paying attention to what I was eating. And I was a person who thought that what you eat was not as important as exercise or eating a specific diet or being on a routine, being on a plan, so I was one of those type of people that always kind of had an excuse. And in my head, my excuse was I was overweight because I had a medical condition that I just never got diagnosed because I never went to the doctor. But I must be suffering from a medical condition. And because I had that excuse, I always just assumed that I would never be able to be skinny or be fit or be in shape. And so I wrote it off, and I just lived my life every day, eating and drinking the things that I wanted to do and not paying attention to my diet. And when I started losing weight, it inspired me to give back. And so I tell friends, I tell family, I tell anybody who will listen. And YouTube is an opportunity for people who listen to maybe try this diet or try this way of counting calories and being successful. So far, I've had several people at work. I've got 3 guys at work that have all lost anywhere from 20 pounds to 60 pounds. There's a lady that I just talked to. I actually deleted the video on accident. I was going to put it up, but it seemed to, I don't know. I feel weird when people come out and talk to me and say, man, you really helped me out, that kind of thing. For whatever reason, that makes me feel weird, and so I didn't want it to be self-aggrandizing and things like that. But the teller lady that I bank with, or she's known me for several years, she's lost 10 pounds, and because when she saw me, she didn't believe I was still me, and so there was this kind of funny little interaction. And I went back to see her a few days ago, and she said, I just want to say thank you because you helped me lose 10 pounds, and I feel much better, and I'm on the track to keep on going, and this, that, and the other, and it's simple, blah, blah, blah. So that made me excited because it was the first time I've actually had a female who said that the diet works for her, because for me, guys lose weight easier. Every guy that I've talked to that's done this has lost weight fairly quickly. I wasn't sure that it was as easy for women to do, and she showed me that it is possible. It takes a little bit more effort, I think, because there are hormonal things for women that men don't necessarily have to deal with that causes them to hold water weight or hold weight more readily than guys do. Guys can lose weight super fast. It's not hard if we try, but it's trying. Trying is half the battle. Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe. Anyway, this video went way longer than I wanted to go. Now, so my questions were, what's your name? How old are you? Where are you from? What do you do as far as work or whatever, if you're in school? And why do you make YouTube videos? That's the breakdown of the questions. And I'm going to tag the one person specifically that I want to tag is Bicycle Blogger. And the second person I want to tag is Cyclist Blogger. So, bike blogger, bike blogger, not bicycle blogger. Bike blogger and cyclist blogger. If you guys would do your own Who Are You videos, or getting to know you videos. That'd be awesome. You guys tag 2 people. And yeah, look forward to seeing your responses. Anyway, guys, take care, have fun, and ride safe. Bye.